Still going to start seated actually, so just finding a comfortable seated pose, just kind of get into the breath a little bit. Just give the shoulders a couple of rolls down your back, find a little bit of space around the chest, a bit of easing around the shoulders, give your head a little roll side to side if there's any tension through the neck. And then just balancing the head on top of the spine and drawing the chin slightly towards your throat so you feel the back of your neck lengthen. And then imagine like a puppet on a string that you're just being lifted from the crown of the head and the rest of the body just drops down away from it. So there's this nice lengthening coming through the spine. Acknowledgement of the sit bones into the ground. And just gently rock your weight forwards into the sit bones. So you feel the tailbone arch back slightly, finding this nice sense of foundation into the ground. Acknowledging the breath then coming into the lower belly. Feeling the torso begin to inflate with each inhalation and deflate as you exhale. And each time you take a round of breath, allow it to feel a little fuller, a little richer. Encouraging each time you inhale, when you feel the breath is full, see if you can sip in another little bit of air through the nose, feeling the ribs expand wide. So this extra little bit of air coming in isn't coming up into the shoulders. Try to keep it below the shoulders, but expanding wide into the torso. And when you've got that deeper, fuller inhale in the body, allow yourself just to hold it in there as though the breath is stretching the inside of your ribs. Give it a moment of holding before you release it. So keep that focus with that really expanded inhale. Then bring the same focus to the end of your exhale. So breathing out fully and then see if you can squeeze out a little bit more breath. So you feel the abdominals tighten in and the pelvic floor lift up. On your next inhale, take the hands to reach up towards the ceiling. Interlace the fingers together above your head and flip the palms up to face the ceiling. Pressing the palms up, stretch the fingers open, taking your next big breath in, again breathing full and wide into the ribs. Allow the shoulders to lift up to the ears. Hold in the breath, just nudge the shoulders down, and then exhale to pull in the ribs, squeezing out every last drop of air. Pulling the abdominals into the spine, stay tall through your back. Again, big breath in, breathing wide and full into the ribs. Let the shoulders lift up. Holding the inhale, just nudge the shoulders down. Then exhale, pulling belly to spine and the lower ribs into the body, finding that strength coming through the core. Last big breath in, feeling wide and full with that breath. Let the shoulders lift up. Holding the breath, allow the shoulders to soften down. Exhale, pulling belly in, ribs in, and releasing the hands to float down as you final drops of breath come out of the body. Keep the fingertips wide to the side of your hips, fingertips just resting lightly to the floor. Press into the fingertips to again grow taller through your torso, and exhale to drop your head towards your left shoulder, pressing further through the right fingertips, so you're pushing the body slightly over further to the left side, encouraging more space and length through that right side of the neck. Let the right hand come away from the ground and then turn the hand as though you would expect to hold onto your hip, like you're doing the little teapot dance that you did when you were little. So elbow winging out sideways, then press that right palm downwards towards the floor. Just so you've got the fingers turned in, or just roll the shoulder into a different angle. So keep elbow winging out to the side and pressing the hand down. Take a breath in. As you exhale, roll the chin towards your chest, release the right hand, and take the head across to the right shoulder. So start with pressing the left fingertips into the floor so that you just nudge your body towards the right slightly, encouraging a little bit more space down that left line of the neck. Keeping that space, just float the left hand up, turn the fingers in to face your body, and then hook the hand into your hip like you're a little teapot doing the dance, and then press the hand down. Wing the elbow as far out to the side as you can, as the elbow is coming forwards. Yeah, and keep pressing down. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, roll the chin towards your chest and bring everything back up straight again. So come onto your back, grab a block or a cushion, whatever you have, it's fine. Something to squeeze in between the inner thighs. So placing your block between inner thighs, any kind of angle or direction. If you have a cushion, maybe fold it in half, just so you've got a little bit more resistance to squeeze against. We're going to bring the legs up to 90 degrees, fan the toes open so feet feel active. This kind of like a floint, halfway between a flex and a point. Got a floint through the ball of the feet. Interlace your hands together and place the head into the hands. So option to do this with head and shoulders staying on the ground and just working with breath. As I know you guys are stronger, level 2, so we're lifting up through the head and shoulders if we can. Think elbows reaching high and armpits reaching high, so we're not just crunching the neck forwards. Keep the gaze lifting. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, pull the belly down, squeeze into the block, and try and curl the tailbone away from the floor as the elbows lift further to the ceiling. Inhale, drop the tailbone down, let the head come back to the floor. As you exhale, fully emptying the breath, pull belly down, squeezing into the block, reach the elbows and the armpits towards the ceiling. Inhale, take the head to the ground. Exhale, belly pulls down, reach the elbows and the armpits up. The tailbone curling off the floor, squeeze into the block. Inhale, head to the ground. Exhale, reaching elbows and armpits up, pulling the belly down, squeeze into your block, curl the tailbone upwards. Inhale, head to the floor. From here, straighten the legs up a little bit longer towards the ceiling. Straight legs if you can. Again, keep the feet flexed, the toes feeling active. Take a breath in. As you exhale, reaching the elbows up towards your toes. The legs don't have to be fully straight, but keep the toes towards the ceiling. Curl the tailbone up off the floor. Inhale, tailbone down, head down. 3 more breaths. Exhale, reach the elbows up, the armpits up, pull the belly down and the tailbone up. Squeeze into the block. Inhale, head to the floor. Exhale fully, lifting elbows, head, shoulders, armpits, belly down, tailbone up. Inhale, head to the floor. Last one, exhale, curling up, reaching high through the armpits. Pull the belly down, curl the tailbone up, squeeze even more into that block. Holding. Stay where you are, take a breath in. Stay where you are, take a breath out, pull the belly down. Inhale, then take the head to the floor and the feet to the ground. Keep your cushion or your block between the knees. Preferably if you have the block not on the narrowest edge, so come kind of mid-length with it. Take the arms to the sides of the body, so coming into a bridge pose. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, draw the belly down, roll the tailbone up off the floor first, and let the rest of the spine roll away after. If this holding into the object with your knees is pinching into the knees, you can remove it, of course, but just imagine there is something there. Keep squeezing through the glutes, tuck the tailbone, so tailbone reaches towards the fold of the knees, pressing into the shoulders and the feet, let the head slide back. Reach the arms up to the ceiling as you take a big breath in. Keep the fingers reaching high to the ceiling. Flex the hands so the palms face up to the ceiling and the fingertips are facing the wall behind you. So imagine you're holding a tray with the arms, keeping them as straight as you can. So we're going to just work into the wrists, but I really want you to maintain that feeling of tucking tailbone and the glutes are feeling active, pressing into your feet. Take a breath in. As you exhale, turn the hands so the fingertips are now going to reach towards your knees and bring the fingertips to scrunch together like you're making claws or beaks with your hands. Inhale, open the hands back out again, palms facing ceiling, fingertips facing back like a flower opening. Exhale, closing the hands, fingertips point towards the knees like you're making beaks with the hands. 2 more. Inhale, open the palms up, stretch them out as wide as you can. Exhale, closing them, press the fingertips together. Last one, inhale to open. Exhale, scrunching up the fingertips, press them together. Relax the hands, just reach the fingertips to the ceiling. And as you next exhale, start to roll the spine back to the floor. Tailbone is the last thing to touch the ground. Bring it all the way down. Remove your block or cushion from between your legs and hug the legs in towards your body. Take a little rock side to side. Just check it. I'm going to record that. It is recording. Good. So keeping your right knee with you, send the left leg away from you, kick out through that heel. Roll the right foot around a few times to smooth through that ankle. And then use your left hand to bring that knee over to the left into a twist, reaching the right arm out to the side, aiming to keep the right shoulder rooted to the floor. So imagine you have a light on your chest center. Try and spin that chest up, the light up towards the ceiling. As open through that line of the chest as we can. Taking those full breaths into the belly and the sides of the ribs. And as you exhale, try and lengthen through this top side of your torso. So think about the sit bones drawing towards each other, like you're trying to squeeze your bum cheeks towards each other a little bit. On your next exhale, bring the leg back through the center and hug the left knee in towards the body. Just take a little massage of your spine into the floor. Keep the left thigh with you, hands around that shin, extend out through the right heel. Rolling the left foot around a few times one way, as much movement through the foot as you can find. Changing direction. And then using your right hand, pull the knee over to the twist, allow the big toe to find the ground. Left arm reaching away to the side to try and keep that left shoulder rooting. Deep, full breaths, allowing the breath to move fully. If it's feeling restricted or too tight to breathe, then just ease out of the twist slightly. Again, think about lengthening this top line of the torso, so draw the sit bones towards each other, so like you're squeezing the glutes together. Gently bring the knee back to the center and hug both knees back in towards your body again. Take your hands under the fold of the knees, swing the feet backwards and forwards to rock yourself back up through seated. And we're going to come straight over into all fours from there. Good. So dropping the elbows to the floor, so elbows underneath the line of the shoulders. Just turn the hands to make sure you can grab hold of your biceps, grab those guns, and then spin the hands back out again so your palms open and spread to the floor. So try to keep the hands where they are. Not too much of a concern if the hands slide in towards each other, but keep the elbows rooted as they are, so elbows don't wing out sideways any wider. Take an inhale as your tailbone lifts and the chest looks forwards, the gaze lifts up slightly. Hold there, press into the hands and the arms, see if you can grow taller away from the floor. On your next exhale, round through to that cat stretch. So bring the gaze towards your thighs, pushing the spine up to the ceiling, opening out through the shoulder blades. Again, stay where you are and push the floor away any further so you can get a deeper little moment of stretch through shoulder blades. Inhale, come back into that back bend phase of it. Tailbone lifting, chest lifting. Keep pushing into the floor to lift up away from it. Exhale, rounding through to the folding phase. Gaze towards the navel, so tuck in the chin and push the ground away. Hold where you are. Tuck the toes underneath. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lift the knees away from the ground, the hips lift. Try and keep that space open around your shoulder blades. You're lifting into dolphin. Walk the toes in an inch closer towards you. You can keep a bend in the knees if that's more comfortable, keeping the tailbone high. If you want to work more into the stretch of the legs, and obviously straighten the legs out a little bit longer. Holding here, keep the feeling of pushing far away so you lift up away from it, as though you're trying to hover the elbows off the ground. Keep them rooted, but keep trying to push into the floor to lift, if that makes sense. Stay where you are, take a big breath in. As you exhale, bring the knees back to the ground again, coming back into the all fours kind of posture. Bring the hands back under the shoulders, just give the shoulders a little bit of a wriggle out. From here, we're going to come into turbo dog. So kind of halfway between your downward dog and the dolphin pose. Your elbows are going to hover just a couple of inches off the floor. So they are not resting on, not straight. They keep a bend. Imagine there is a magnet between your arms, so they squeeze in towards each other. So we keep this feeling of the shoulder blade wrapping around the outer edge of the rib cage, like you're trying to hide your armpits. Rounding through your spine, gaze towards the legs, dropping the elbows so they're hovering. Bring your shoulders closer towards your wrists and feel the shoulder blades broaden out even further. Then hover the knees so they're at least as high as your elbows, maybe even straightening up a little bit straighter. Keep the bend in the elbows, squeeze them in towards each other, and shift your shoulders forwards towards the wrists. Palms spread wide, relax the neck. Round more through upper back. Breathe. Julie, bend your elbows more. That's it. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, straighten the arms into your full downward dog, but keep the shoulder blades wrapping. Take a deep breath in. And a sigh through the mouth. You can swear at me if you like, you're on mute. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Roll forwards into your plank position again. Broad through those shoulder blades as you travel forwards, pushing the ground away. Exhale, bring the knees to the ground and the chest to the ground, a half chaturanga. Inhale, sliding forwards, reach the toes back, lift the chest to cobra, elbows hug in. Exhale, bring the chest back to the floor. Pressing through the hands, come up to all fours and fold into child's pose. Take the knees slightly wider than your torso so the body can breathe fully and deeply. Take the elbows as wide as the mat and interlace the hands together around the back of the head. So as usual, we would tuck the elbows in and walk them forwards. For now, I want you to keep the elbows wide. We're going to use the elbows to push into the floor as you inhale. So take a big breath into belly and side ribs. And then when you're getting that extra sip of inhalation, try and press the elbows into the floor and see if it gives you a little bit more strength around the ribs to breathe into. Then exhale, let everything relax. Inhale again, deep breath in. Pressing into the elbows, see if it gives you a bit more strength to breathe into your back with. And exhale, let it relax. Last one, you can play around with the positioning of your elbows if it helps you engage bits of your back differently. Exhale, let it relax. Reach the arms back out forwards. Travel forwards up to all fours. Tuck the toes, come into downward dog. Paddle through the feet or swing the hips side to side. Let the body loosen off into the pose. Start to walk your feet up towards your hands, coming into the forward fold at the top of the mat. Feet staying hips distance, hanging over the legs. So either holding onto the back of the legs or holding onto your arms. Let the body just dangle. Keep a bit of movement in it if it feels good to. Really try to relax your head, relax the jaw and the forehead. And then allow the arms to dangle to the floor. Take a deep breath in where you are. As you exhale, slowly rolling up through the spine, tailbone down, stacking each vertebra on top of the neck. Roll the shoulders down your back. Take an inhale, reach the arms wide to the side and up to the ceiling. As you exhale, come wide again, so the chest stays open as you refold through to the feet, fingertips down to the floor. Keep the fingertips on the ground, so bend the knees as much as you need to keep them there. Then on your halfway lift, breathe in and just reach the chest forwards. It doesn't matter if you don't come all the way up as usual, keep the hands down. Exhale, pull belly to spine and refold to the legs. We're going to take that halfway lift again. So rather than think about lifting up, I want you to think about just big full breath into the ribs, which will naturally lift you. So inhale, just think about the breath coming as big and wide into the ribs. Let that create space and lift through the torso. Exhale, collapse the body back into the legs. Once more, big full breath in. Exhale, refold into the legs. Step the right leg back behind you, place the knee down to the floor. Inhale to lift the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, just take the arms out to the sides, kind of shoulder height out to the sides. Palms are facing up to the ceiling. Connect the index finger to the tip of the thumb, to the tip of the index finger, and then draw the arms back behind you, keeping them straight, maybe a little micro bend in elbows if that's more comfortable with shoulders. Think fingers reaching back behind you as the hips are sinking forwards. So creating space across this whole line of the chest, keeping the tailbone dropping down. So we're not sinking into back bend of the lower back. Engage that right glute. So the right buttock keeps the hips pressing forward and the tailbone down. The chest is opening out. Keep the breath moving. Allow the weight of the arms to create more space and width across the heart center. Take one more breath in. Exhale, bring the hands down to the floor, step back into your plank position. Take a big breath in. Exhale, knees and chest or full chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, shoulders back. Exhale, come back into your downward dog, keeping that wrapping of your shoulder blades. So micro bend the elbows, have a sense of arms squeezing in towards each other so the shoulder blades are broad. Lift the left leg up towards the ceiling, taking a big breath in. As you exhale, step through between the hands. Place the back knee to the ground again. Inhale to lift the arms to the ceiling, interlacing the hands together around the back of the neck. Have a sense of scooping the neck up, the head up. Hug the elbows in towards your temples so you can see them in your peripheral vision. And the elbows lifting to ceiling as you sink again, the hips forwards, engaging the right buttock to press open through the front of that right hip. Let the head relax into the basket of the hands. Think like we did in the abdominals, the elbows and the armpits lifting towards the ceiling. Inhale, straighten the arms back up to the ceiling. Exhale brings you to forward fold at the top of the mat. So rocking the weight backwards and spring up. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs. Slowly rolling all the way back up to standing, rounding through the spine with floppy arms. Take the arms wide and up to the ceiling. And again, wide open line through the chest as you refold through to the feet. Again, taking 2 breaths in this halfway lift, focusing on that deep, full breath to lift you. So just let the arms kind of dangle. Feel how the breath naturally expands in space to lift you. Exhale, collapse into the legs. Take one more. Inhale fully. Exhale, release. Step the left leg back behind you. Place the knee down to the floor. Inhale, lift the arms to ceiling, connecting the tip of the index finger to the tip of the thumb, and then broaden the arms out like big wings coming out to the side of you. Engage the left glute, so the front of the left hip is open, the tailbone stays down. Allow the arms to draw back so you feel the line of the chest open. The breastbone turning towards the ceiling, the tailbone staying down. Deep, full breaths again. Squeezing the shoulder blades. On your next exhale, bring the hands to the floor, step it back into your plank position. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, half or full chaturanga. Inhale, lifting chest, cobra or up dog. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, back into your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Inhale to lift the right leg high. Exhale, step it through to between the hands. Place the back knee to the floor. Inhale to lift the arms up to the ceiling, again finding that brain cradle, so interlace the hands around the back of the neck, and then scoop the head up into the hands. Hug the elbows in towards the temples so they come into your peripheral vision, thinking elbows reaching to ceiling, armpits reaching to ceiling, and keeping the hips sinking down. Again, tailbone stays down, not loading weight into your lower back or back bend. So keep the left buttock feeling fairly engaged. Inhale, straighten the arms back up to the ceiling again. Exhale brings you to forward fold at the top of the mat. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs. Slowly rolling up to standing. Taking the arms wide out to the side. Draw a big circle up to the ceiling. Exhale to refold through to the feet. Take a halfway lift. Inhale. Plant the hands to the floor, step or jump back to your plank position. Holding plank, broad through shoulder blades. Exhale, chaturanga, come forwards and down so the elbows stay square. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Lift the right leg towards the ceiling, taking a big breath in and holding there. Think about the underneath heel pressing towards the floor and see if those upper toes can reach higher to ceiling. Push the ground away through the hands, so allow now the shoulder blades to draw towards each other a little, so you create the feeling of the chest pressing back towards the leg underneath you. Try and smell your left toes. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, step through to between the hands. Turn the back foot into a diagonal, set up for warrior one. Bring the hands to the ceiling. Soften the shoulder blades down, so take them a little bit wider if you want to. Again, slight engagement of this left glute to press the hip forwards, tailbone dropping down, belly pulling in. So think like you're almost trying to tuck the tailbone, so you open out the space in front of the left hip. Push the feet apart from each other, so legs are feeling active. Take a big breath in, lift the gaze. Exhale, come back through those big wide wings that we had earlier, so arms out to the side and reaching back behind you. Interlace the fingers then together behind your back. Draw the knuckles towards the back heel, squeezing the shoulder blades, chest staying open. Again, just check this hasn't dropped into the lower back bending. Keep the tailbone down, front of the left hip stays open, the chest is opening. Take a breath in. As you exhale, dive into humble warrior. So you can take the front foot slightly wider, bring the body forwards and down. Gaze comes to your back big toe. Keep the supporting legs straight and strong. Deepen the bend into the right knee if we can, so that right shoulder tucks into the inner side of the knee. Take a deep full breath. Pressing through the front foot, bring yourself all the way back up to warrior one, arms lifting. On one long exhale, come through your chaturanga. So keep breathing out, keep breathing out, keep breathing out until you've lowered. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, come back into your downward facing dog. 2 full breaths. Inhale. Exhale, wrap the shoulder blades, neck long. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to lift the left leg up to the ceiling and pausing there in that 3-leg dog. Try to press the supporting heel towards the floor. And again, use your hands to press the ground away from you. Allow the shoulders to squeeze together slightly so the chest is reaching back so you can smell your right toes. Reach the left toes as high up away from you, like you do not want to smell those ones. Take a breath in. Exhale, step through to between the hands, setting up warrior one. Hips and shoulders stay facing the top of the mat, arms lifting high. Soften the shoulder blades down, get into this right hip flexor again, so slightly activating the right glutes. Press the legs away from you like you're trying to rip the mat in the middle. Come through those wide wings of your arms, so arms will reach out to the sides and then slowly guide them around behind you to interlace one finger differently to how you interlaced them last time, the weird way to link them. Keep the tailbone down, but open out the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. Take a really big full breath in. As you exhale, diving forwards and down to the inside of your front leg. So get that left shoulder to the inside of that left knee. Gaze towards the back big toe, pressing the foot into the floor. Keep the shoulders facing the top of the mat. Pressing back through that front foot, lift yourself all the way back up again. And your hands reaching to the ceiling, take a really big full breath in. On one long exhale through your chaturanga, keep breathing out until you're all the way down. Then inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, come back into downward dog. 2 full breaths. Inhale for 1. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Bring the gaze to your hands, bend the knees. Step, walk, or float the feet up to your hands. Halfway lift, use the breath to initiate it. Exhale, fold into the legs. Slowly rolling through the spine, take the arms wide to the side and up to the ceiling. Exhale, refold through to the feet. Halfway lift, inhale. Long exhale all the way through your chaturanga. You can step or jump, but keep breathing out until you've lowered. Then inhale, lift the chest. Then exhale to downward dog. Inhale, right foot lifts high as it might go. Exhale, step through to between the hands, bring the shoulders forwards out, you step through. Coming back into warrior one again, so arms lifting high. Exhale brings you round to warrior two, so just nudging the back foot round. Stretch out the fingertips, gaze over your right fingers, deepen the bend into that right knee. Again, both legs feeling strong. Keep the tailbone dropping towards the floor, scooping the bandhas as that pelvic floor lifts up. Turn the palms to face the ceiling. As you inhale, straighten up the right leg, reach up high for the ceiling as though you're trying to grab hold of it. Then as you exhale, come back into warrior two, pressing the arms down, so the palms facing the floor. Find the resistance through your back. Inhale again, lifting, push the floor away with your feet. Exhale, find the resistance in your back as you come into warrior two. Take one more breath here. Inhale to lift, big full breaths. Exhale, sinking back down. Place the right forearm to your front thigh, left arm tipping overhead into extended side angle. So keep that left palm above you facing the floor, so you wrap that top shoulder blade into your back, so sink it into the back away from your ear, like you're trying to turn your armpit towards your cheek. Use the right forearm on the thigh to guide the muscle of the leg backwards, and then try to tuck the tailbone, so you lengthen the lower back and create more opening in that right side of the groin. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, place the left hand down next to your front foot, lift the back heel and unravel the right arm, so you're going to twist towards the front knee. Lift the gaze towards the top hand and try and grab hold of the ceiling with that top hand. Sink the hips further towards the floor, stay low into the lunge. Take another big breath in. On one long exhale, chaturanga, hand to floor, step back and lower. Inhale, lift the chest, cobra or up dog. Exhale, back into downward dog. Inhale to lift the left leg high, reaching it up, 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 up. Exhale, step through to between the hands. Turn the back foot. Inhale, lifts you to warrior one. Exhale, spins you to warrior two. Realign the feet. Spread the fingers open, gaze over your left center finger. Again, just straighten out the spine, have a sense of scooping up pelvic floor, mula bandha. Deepen into that front knee. Make sure that front knee is tracking over the line of the toes. Flip the palms to face the ceiling, and as you inhale, straighten everything up, but you're reaching up to grab the ceiling. Exhale, pressing the arms down back into warrior two, that you're pushing it through. Inhale to lift back up again. Exhale to press it back down. Last one, inhale to lift. Exhale to press down, reaching the left forearm to rest to the front thigh, right arm coming overhead. Again, think about this right shoulder staying plugged into your back, so turn the armpit towards your cheek a little. Make sure if you look up, you can see the fold of your elbow. Use the left forearm to guide the knee further open, and at the same time try and reach the pubic bone forwards. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, place the right hand back to the floor, lift the back heel, and lift the left hand up into twist. Keep the front knee hugging in towards your chest line. Sink the hips further down towards the floor. At the same time, keep reaching up towards the ceiling with that left hand. Take a big breath in. Your exhale leads you through chaturanga. Keep breathing out all the way down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, back into downward dog. Take 2 full breaths. Inhale. Exhale, wrap the shoulder blades, soften the neck. Inhale. Exhale. Gaze to the hands, bend the knees. Step, walk, or jump the feet up to the top of the mats. Use your breath to give you a halfway lift. Exhale, fold into the legs. Inhale, rolling up through the spine. Take the arms wide to the side and up to the ceiling. And just bring the hands to your heart center. Take a moment just to steady the breath. Feel the energy that you've created in the body. Find softness where you can. Enjoy the buzz that maybe is running through your body. From here, we're going to find a little standing flow. So make sure you have enough room to kind of reach forwards. If you need to bring yourself more into the middle of the mat, then do. You have a wardrobe in front of you. So you're going to inhale, take the arms wide as you lift the right knee up. So bring the fingertips all the way to the ceiling, like you're pulling up the knee with a bit of magic. Straighten into that supporting leg. Think really proud through your chest. So if we're slumping forwards, this is off the center point. So reach the hands up, chest feels open. From here, we're going to come into warrior three. So reach the arms back with the legs so they move together. Straightening that floating leg as when it reaches back. Really push out through that fold of the knee, spine parallel to the ceiling. Again, find those bird wings that we had in the lunge earlier. So arms out, shoulder width, just see your fingers in your peripheral vision. Connect the index finger to thumb, and then lift the hands up towards the ceiling so they reach out of your peripheral vision. Shoulder blades squeeze together. From here, scoop the knee back up towards your chest again, where you started. And then coming into Gomukhasana, so you're going to wrap this knee over the left thigh, like you're sitting cross-legged on a chair. Bend into that supporting leg. Your right toes can either tap to the floor, or kick off, or maybe wrapping the foot around the ankle. Bring the arms out in front of you. And then the hands either resting at the heart center, if this feels enough of a balance challenge. If you want to add in the Gomukhasana arms, the right arm wraps over the left. You can hold on to the shoulders or find the full wrapping of the arms. Reach the elbows forwards and up to the ceiling. As you exhale, sink further in. This is Garudasana, your eagle pose. So try to keep the chest feeling upright, but sink the hips closer to the ground. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Keep the arms as they are, as you will have them wrapped. Unravel the legs and come back into warrior three. Reach the toes back behind you. Come into warrior one, legs, toes to the floor at the back. Hips and shoulders stay facing front. Lift those eagle arms towards the ceiling. Allow the chest to lift. Again, keep the tailbone down. As you exhale, pull the elbows in towards your belly, that you're rounding through the shoulder blades. One more big breath. Inhale to lift the elbows, open the chest. Exhale, elbows in towards your belly, open out the shoulder blades. Inhale, lift up again, unravel the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, come into forward fold at the top of the mat. Big step up. Good. Halfway lift, initiated with your breath. Exhale, fold into the legs. Slowly rolling up through the spine. Take the arms up to the ceiling. And let the hands rest at the heart center. Take a breath where you are. Spread the toes of your right foot open. We'll take the standing balance on the other side. So lift the arms wide and up to the ceiling, picking up the left knee with you. Holding here, knee lifting, chest open, feel proud through the pose. Exhale, come into warrior three, reach the arms back with the foot, straightening that floating leg, crown the head reaching forwards. Take the arms out to the side, connecting index finger to thumb, and then lift your wings up towards the ceiling slightly. Feel the shoulder blades squeezing together, chest open. Inhale, pick the knee all the way back up to the ceiling. Coming back into warrior three. I think I got that wrong, and come back into the float. And then we're stepping the toes down to the back of the mat, coming into warrior one. Arms lifting up to the ceiling. What am I doing here? I did this wrong, didn't I? Sorry, eagle pose. Come back into warrior three. Yes, actually mixing it up here. Lift the knee to your chest. Keep the arms lifting. So this time, bring the left thigh over your right thigh, coming into the Garudasana. So toes again can be on the floor, toes off the floor, or toes wrapped. Squat into that supporting leg. Similarly with the arms, can be at the heart center, or this time your left arm is going to wrap over the right, either holding shoulders or find a full wrapping. So keep the chest feeling upright, but sink the hips low. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs, deepen into the breath. Feel that space around the shoulder blades. Keep the arms as they are, coming into another warrior three. So reach that left leg back behind you again, hinging the body forwards. Then step it down into warrior one, toes to the back of the mat. Good. Inhale to lift the elbows to the ceiling. Exhale, hug the elbows in towards the abdomen. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, squeezing in. Lifting up again, unravel the arms towards the ceiling. The exhale brings you into forward fold at the top of the mat. Big step up. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs, staying here in the fold. Either a bend in the knees, you can hang on to elbows or back of the legs or big toes. Any variation of a fold here that feels good. Legs straight or bent, up to you. Any swaying or rocking that feels good. Deepen into the breath. Release your arms wherever they are, so they're just dangling to the ground. Take a big breath in. Then as you exhale, slowly rolling up to the spine. Keep the arms heavy and the chin tucking in until you get to the top. Roll the shoulders down your back. Good. Take a breath. If you have, good. If you have a block or anything that can support you in a half moon balance that you want to take for that one, then take it to the top of the mat. Okay. Bring the hands to heart center. Standing at the top of the mat. That's it. Inhale, take the arms wide. Coming through another vinyasa. Exhale, coming into forward fold. Use the breath to give you that halfway lift. Exhale, fold into the legs, step the right leg back behind you. Keep the right hand down to the floor. Left hand lifts up to the ceiling into that same twist we found earlier. So left hand reaching up, keep that knee squeezing in towards the chest center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring the left hand down to the floor, so both hands framing the front foot. You're going to transfer the weight forwards, kick the back leg up to the ceiling to standing split. So you can take the hands a little further forward to the front foot if you want to. Reaching those top toes as high as they can go. This will be different for everybody, depending not just on hamstring availability, but also the structure of your pelvis as well. So your standing split will always be quite different to someone else's. Relax the neck. From here, take a little micro bend in your supporting leg. You're going to push up to warrior 3, bringing the hands to heart center as you lift the back up. It's quite a harder transition to come into. Yes, good. Float the floating toes in line with your hips. The left hand is going to come down to the floor or to your block. Turn the toes with you slightly if it feels like it's going to pinch into the knee. Spin the hips open to face the right side of your mat. Maybe right hand resting onto the hip, or if we can, if feeling balanced, lift it up towards the ceiling. So flatten yourself out. Think scooping the tailbone towards your back heel, pulling in the lower belly, like you've been flattened against a window. Good. Take a big breath in. Exhale, reverse the way you came, square the hips back up to the floor again. Hands come back to the heart center, back into warrior 3. Then step the floating toes to the back of the mat, coming into your warrior 1. Hips and shoulders front. Ta-da! Breathe, if you forgot to breathe for a moment then. Lift the hands to the ceiling. You're going to add in Gomukhasana arms. So your right hand is going to drop down to the back of the neck. The left hand is going to sweep around behind you, pressing the back of the hand as far up your back as you can. Maybe the fingers interlace. Don't worry if they don't. Just keep pressing them in. You still get rotation through the shoulder. Deepen into that left knee. Again, find that stretch through the right hip flexor. So maybe a little bit of feeling of tucking the tailbone under. At the same time, lift the breastbone towards the ceiling. So let your head rest into the forearm behind you. Just feel how that creates a little bit of opening through the chest. Stay here. Take a couple of breaths. Try and find a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of ease into the pose. One more big breath. Release the arms gently, take your time. Bring the hands back down to the floor, either side of the front foot. Step back into your plank position, taking a breath in. If you want to miss this vinyasa, pause in a downward dog and wait there. Otherwise, exhale your chaturanga. Inhale to lift the chest. And exhale, we meet back in downward dog. Take a deep couple of breaths. Bring the gaze to your hands, bend the knees. Step, walk, jump, or shuffle the feet up to your hands. Big breath gives you a halfway lift. Exhale, fold into the legs. Step the left leg back behind you. Place the, don't place the knee to the floor. Keep the left hand next to your front foot. The right arm lifts up into your twist. See the front knee hugging into the chest. Good. Take a big breath in. Exhale, hand to the floor. Maybe hands come slightly further forward as you transition to your standing split. So back leg kicks up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing down through the ball of the front foot to help you tip those upper toes any higher. Relax into the neck. Use that left glute to help squeeze the leg up. From here, you're coming into warrior 3. So micro bend the supporting leg. Hands come to heart center as you gather yourself up. into that straight parallel spine. Straighten up the supporting leg when you're floating. From here, we're coming to half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So you can take the hand to the floor or your block. Allow the toes to just nudge around towards the left with you slightly, opening the hip bones. I think left hip stacking on top of that right one. Lifting the left hand if you're feeling steady. Again, keep the floating limbs as strong and straight as you can. If they go floppy, your core will go floppy. Can let your neck flop a little bit though, so we're not holding too much tension in the neck. Good, gripping faces. From here, come back into warrior three, square the hips up. Step the back foot down to the back of the mat, coming into warrior one. Hips and shoulders are facing front, lift the arms, make sure you breathe. The left hand is going to drop down to the back of the neck. The right hand spins around, so the back of your hand walks up your back as far as it might come to you. One side might be different to the other. Interlace the fingers if they can link. And resting your head into the forearm behind you as you guide your tailbone down towards the floor. Take out the back bend from the lower spine. Deep breath, feel the space around the chest. Find the sweetness and the softness of the pose. Slowly unravel the arms. Bring the hands down to the floor next to your front foot. Step back into your plank position or pausing in your downward dog. You've come into plank, then take the vinyasa as you roll through chaturanga, etc. Lovely. Take a deep breath in through the nose and a sigh through the mouth. Inhale through the nose and stick the tongue out and sigh through the mouth. Once more, that lion's breath. Inhale. Stretch out your face. Exhale. Bring the knees to the floor. Come into a child's pose. Knees wider, big toes touching. Fold the hips back. Maybe arms stay out in front of you or elbows wide. Hands either under the head or on top of the head. Any way you want to be in this child's pose, whatever gives you the best feeling of rest. Whatever you can deepen into your breath fully, like we did at the start of the practice, where you sip in that extra little bit of inhale, feeling all of the ribcage expand. Take the arms out in front of you if they aren't there already. Come from here through to all fours and then just slink your way all the way onto your belly. Bring the hands under the forehead. Let everything relax to the floor. Lift up the gaze slightly. Just roll one arm underneath you so you slide yourself onto your back. So just slither around to turn over. Bring the knees in towards your chest. Take a little rock side to side. And then take any other postures that you feel your body needs. So that maybe that's a twist or a happy baby or a bridge pose, shoulder stand, anything you want to take from here. If you're taking a twist, you could take the eagle wrap of the legs. Just try and use the time to be your own teacher, your own kind of guidance for your body. Listen to us feeling it needs a little bit of extra space or neutralizing. Maybe it's to come straight into a Shavasana. When you're ready to guide yourself into any Shavasana variation, maybe that's out flat and length into the ground, or as always, keeping the knees bent if it's more comfortable for your back. Allow some space around your chest, so palms open to ceiling. Lengthen through the back of your neck. You're still feeling tension through the jaw or through the head. Maybe just give your jaw hinge a bit of a massage or the scalp a bit of a massage. Again, just listening to where your body needs a little bit of TLC. Until you feel comfortable to be in stillness. Allow the breaths to become more and more effortless. But still acknowledging that full space into the torso. So without having to force it or try and manipulate it too much, just notice if now you've created a little bit more strength or space to breathe a bit more deeply. Feeling more room in the lungs, more connection to the diaphragm. Feel into where you feel the energy of your practice, or where your practice has moved your body in some way. You might sense it as a warmth or a sense of a humming sensation through the body. Sense of engagement or connection with different parts of the body. Acknowledge how wonderful your body is to give you that feeling and that connection. Feeling of nourishment for your respiratory system. Taking a few more deep, slow breaths. Allowing the energy of the body to come into more of a rested feeling. Just changing the tone of your breath to carry that little bit more energy. Bring some movement to the body, whether that's through the fingers or the wrists or the ankles, or taking a full body stretch. If they aren't already, then bend the knees so your feet come to the ground, allowing your spine to reset to the floor. And then either rolling yourself to one side or take a gentle rock to seated. So allow the hands to rest to the legs any way that feels good. Again, thinking about that feeling of like a puppet on a string as we started the practice, lifting from the crown of the head, and allow the rest of the body just to drop away from it. Closing your practice, bringing to mind one thing that you can feel grateful for today. Acknowledge one thing that you like about yourself today. And recognize how getting to your yoga mat has served you in some way today. Closing that to the heart center as the palms come to the chest. Take that deep, full breath in. And as you exhale, bow your head to your hands. Thank you guys. Namaste. Well done. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you, period.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.